Although there have always been exciting treasures and contentious negotiations in the Pawn Stars world, things are not always easy behind the scenes. The fan following was shocked when one of the show's main characters was at the center of legal issues lately. The once adored performer has pleaded guilty to charges that would permanently change their career, casting doubt on the show's future. What caused this abrupt change in circumstances? And how will it impact the recognizable pawn store we've grown to love? Come along as we explore the scandal's untold tale and learn what it implies for Pawn Stars' future. Humble beginnings. Even if the employees of Pawn Stars are now well known as reality TV stars and actual celebrities, remember that the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop began as a legitimate family business in 1989. When Richard "Old Man" Harrison first started the store, it operated as a family business around the clock. Harrison, his son Rick, his grandson Corey, and family friend Austin "Chumlee" Russell were just ordinary folks working for the company until their TV program made them famous, even though they're now well-known celebrities in their own right. True ambition. Although he initially opened the pawn shop as a family-run enterprise, Old Man Harrison always understood that his establishment was unique and had the potential to make them all renowned in the future. Harrison had submitted the concept to other networks for years before the TV show began. They repeatedly refused until one network agreed, but it would take some time before they made a significant impact. Business-minded. We learn the truth about Harrison's aspirations to bring his store to the television industry, but there's more to his choice to pursue celebrity. He did it not only because he believed it would be a humorous and well-liked show, but also because he believed it would be a wise business move to raise the exposure of his pawn store and possibly draw in additional clients. He told the Star-Telegram, "I assumed that a show would mean free publicity, and free publicity would mean more business." Never give up. Harrison knew the chances were against him, but he was determined to make his shop and the TV gold it could provide a success. People kept turning him down the more he tried to pitch the show. He remarked, "Everyone told me that no one wants to watch a show about 4 fat guys in a pawn shop. They had no idea that this very thing would one day captivate the entire globe." First look. We might know that Pawn Stars airs on History, but it had a very different home, too. The shop first appeared on Comedy Central's Insomniac and then briefly aired on HBO. We bet you were unaware of the show's pre-History Channel history. As the years passed, networks continued to reject Harrison's idea for a TV show based on his pawn shop, but he never gave up. Worldwide fame. We all know that Pawn Stars is one of the most popular shows in America, but did you realize that it's also well-liked abroad? It's been translated into an astounding 38 languages and is aired in 150 countries. Harrison also disclosed that the show is so famous that he was surrounded by yelling fans everywhere he went. Buenos Aires, the Philippines, Kuala Lumpur, New Delhi, he claimed, everywhere in the world people know the show. Legal troubles. Their ascent to the top hasn't been without challenges, despite Pawn Stars' current enormous popularity. As their fame grew, they faced several legal issues, such as Wayne Jeffries, their former manager, suing all 3 Harrisons and Chumlee. Their problems would not be resolved. However, we're not sure how it was ultimately resolved. "The more money you make, the more times people sue you," Harrison remarked to Fox News. "People are always eventually going to sue you for something." Wacky tack. People worldwide bring strange goods to the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop, as you would imagine. However, one specific item initially introduced may surprise even the most seasoned watchers. At one point, Harrison disclosed that pornographic art from Japan had been smuggled in. "Everything is exaggerated. It's kind of creepy, and after I bought it, I realized my mother comes into the pawn shop, so I couldn't display it out there," he told Heavy, adding, "It's all hand-painted, down to every bodily fluid." Use your head. Not only that, but Harrison recalled that a man came in with the most unexpected and, let's face it, frightful item, a collection of human skulls. The man claimed to have taken them from a dental school, but the others weren't convinced. And it's probably not surprising that Harrison refused to purchase these eerie items. Hidden treasures. From Slash's old ID to a real full-size submarine, the most bizarre item ever brought in was probably a didrachum, a rare coin from no less than ancient Greece, dated back to around 325 BC. You wouldn't believe some of the items pawned on the show. Do you think you'd already seen all the strange and unique items brought into the store? Spare change. One of the most controversial and unexpected items was when a woman brought in a collection of gold coins, which Harrison melted down to reuse by the store's policy. However, they got into trouble when it turned out that the coins were stolen, and the store was sued for melting them down without permission. Oops. The ancient Greek coin was one of the most remarkable, but it wasn't what made the TV show headlines. Damage control. For example, Chumlee once broke a valuable $20,000 base and didn't even tell anyone. He put it back in the box and continued his day. You might think that most of the more memorable items and events in the shop are due to the strange pawn shop customers and the things they bring in, but the truth is that the show's stars bring just as much chaos as their clients. Stolen goods. As Harrison told NPR, it's just the nature of the business that people will often try to bring in stolen goods to get money for them while also getting rid of the evidence. This also happened on Pawn Stars, where Harrison paid $40,000 for a pair of diamond earrings that turned out to be stolen. The thief received his punishment and some jail time, and the original owner received her earrings back, but Harrison didn't get the $40,000 back. Plan in advance. Since many of the deals made in the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop are made in advance, way ahead of filming, yes, the staff coordinates plans with potential customers via email, ensuring that the correct items arrive at the right moment of filming. The earrings story illustrates just how unpredictable and chaotic work in the pawn industry can be. Still, the reality is that some of these deals are the exact opposite. Call in the experts. But did you know that most of the experts on the show aren't Harrison's personal friends, but actual professionals selected by the show's producers? They aren't there out of friendship, but to further their careers through exposure. Perhaps they all go out for a beer afterward. We're all probably familiar with the experts on the various items brought into the pawn shop. Harrison frequently turns to his seemingly endless list of friends who are experts in every valuable item. Running a script. As with all reality TV shows, many viewers are curious about how much Pawn Stars is pre-planned and fully scripted, and how much is natural and spontaneous. The truth is that a lot of the show is scripted. The potential seller is coached on how to act and negotiate so they don't come across as nervous or uncomfortable. And they're not told precisely what to say, but instead use their professional skills to influence what they say. It's fascinating. Short-staffed. Even though the Harrisons and Chumlee have made the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop famous, they don't work there. How can that be? Well, they do work there for the televised pawn deals, but it's pretty private and distinct from the regular customers who are served and sorted out by Travis Benton, who is essentially the store manager in real life. Saying goodbye. Unfortunately, we didn't hear much about Adam until he made headlines in January 2024, after he passed away at 39. "You will always be in my heart. I love you, Adam," Rick Harrison wrote on Instagram after his passing. Two of his children, Corey and Jake, have appeared on the show, but his third child, Adam, never did. Adam worked at Gold and Silver Pawn. "I will always love you, Bubba," Corey Harrison, Adam's older brother, posted on Instagram. The naked truth. Olivia Black became and continues to be immensely popular with fans and is another beloved show star. When she was dismissed for sharing some lewd photos on a modeling website, there was a lot of controversy, but the reality was quite different. Did you know that she was never let go from her job as a store employee after being kicked off the show? Yes, she was still employed there. The production company simply dropped her while they were filming. One of the family. Although the Harrison clan's pawn store is referred to as their family business, Austin Chumlee Russell, an honorary family member but unrelated, is by far the most well-liked cast member. Did you realize that Chumlee was competing with several other staff members to be the additional person on the show? Since Corey is his best friend, he ensures he got the job. The fans adored him, and thus the rest is history. Checkered past. Chumlee is the most well-liked character on the show. Still, his life and background aren't without their ups and downs, and frequently a lot of controversy because when police raided his home in 2016, initially on suspicion of sexual assault, they discovered a variety of illegal narcotics and at least 8 unregistered firearms. Ultimately, he was freed on bail, avoiding jail time by consenting to 3 years of rehabilitation and probation. Fight night. Furthermore, Chumlee has had other high-profile run-ins with the authorities. In 2012, he was involved in a fight on Hollywood Boulevard that left his opponent severely injured on the ground. Chumlee was captured on cameras getting into the altercation, so he couldn't even act like it wasn't him. We don't know what transpired that tragic night, but he insisted that it was in self-defense. Violent content. It may surprise you that Chumlee is not the only famous TV star who has occasionally run afoul of the law. Corey Harrison has also been involved in several contentious situations, including getting intoxicated and unruly at a pub in Big Bear, California in 2011. The police were summoned, he got into a heated argument with another punter, and he ended up spending the night in a detention cell. The show must go on. In reality, the show got so popular that its notoriety can now interfere with regular business, despite Harrison's initial goal of having the show on TV to increase the store's visibility and boost and improve sales. Is it possible? According to the store manager, Travis Benton, so many tourists now visit the store that they obstruct actual customers from coming in. Furthermore, the store must be closed to consumers while filming. Tourist attraction. Furthermore, many consumers are not frequent patrons due to the shop's popularity. It's now the most viewed non-gaming website in Los Angeles due to its immense popularity as a tourist destination. Even though they are rarely seen there, supporters can sometimes form queues that stretch down the street while visitors swarm the sidewalks, hoping to get a peek at their TV idols. Pawn on tour. And it's not just the hordes of admirers who come from far and wide to see the incredibly well-known and well-liked pawn store. Additionally, the celebrities travel extensively throughout the country each year as part of their tour. Yes, exactly. Rick and Corey Harrison give VIP experiences, meet and greet opportunities, and an intimate glimpse into the comings and goings of the renowned family as they travel the nation. Wedding woes. Rick Harrison focused on his personal life after marrying his beloved Deanna Burdett in 2013 and his lucrative TV show and pawn store. However, did you know that Burdett's ex-husband, who was on trial for several sex offenses, was allegedly at the center of a major court battle between Harrison and Burdett? Even though it wasn't the most romantic or stress-free beginning for the new couple, he ultimately was found guilty and sentenced to prison. Corey courting. Furthermore, Rick Harrison wasn't the only well-known cast member to have their personal and romantic lives featured prominently in the press. In reality, Corey Harrison wed his college sweetheart. Long before the perks of celebrity beckoned, Harrison and Charlene were married in 2000. Unfortunately, their marriage suffered as a result of the spotlight, and they eventually got divorced in 2015. Harrison and Roxy Gonzalez later had a brief romance. The stuntman. As everyone knows, Corey Harrison is a bit of a daredevil and a wild card. He's also well known for performing several death-defying acts. But did you know that they weren't intentional? He once jumped into the air while riding at full speed when his fender broke off and went into an extremely fast tailspin. On another occasion, he destroyed a bicycle while traveling from Vegas to San Diego in the rain. These daring actions are too much for us, even though we enjoy a little adventure. Death-defying. After achieving a certain level of celebrity, it appears to be the norm in show business for people to fall victim to online death hoaxes. Chumlee has also experienced this more than once following an overdose in 2013 and again following a heart attack. Chumlee personally verified his existence on Twitter by posting, "May we live long, rich forever." End of an era. Sadly, another member of the Pawn Stars group did die, and Richard Old Man Harrison died in 2018 at the age of 77. Despite Chumlee's assurances to his admirers that he was still alive, Old Man Harrison passed away this morning, surrounded by those he loved, Rick Harrison wrote on Instagram. He will be tremendously missed by our family, the gold and silver pawn team, and his many fans worldwide. He was my hero, and I was fortunate to get a very cool old man like my dad. Paying tribute. The tributes quickly started coming in from all across the world as people began to come to terms with the tragic news that the old man had died. But that's not all. The Pawn Stars crew also commemorated him with an hour-long memorial program in which they all talked about him and the best times spent with him over the years. In the episode, Rick remarked, "There are a lot of memories here, and my father is with the majority of them." Where there's a will. Despite the notion that everyone was grieving for Old Man, his family was dealing with some private issues while they worked out the arrangements after his passing. Harrison had omitted one of his sons from the will. While Rick and Joseph were part of the estate, Chris was excluded entirely. We don't fully understand the reasoning behind this unexpected choice, but the family stated that this had already been addressed. Not so Big Hoss. Because of his extravagant attitude and physical attributes, Corey Harrison is lovingly called Big Hoss by many fans worldwide. However, he's no longer huge because he undertook a significant weight loss program based on his doctor's advice. Following a whole diet change and lap band surgery, Harrison shed more than 200 pounds. Fantastic! Panini Plug. Have you ever observed how much food the Pawn Stars cast members consume throughout each episode? You may not have thought much about it, but if you pay close attention, you'll see that they're eating Subway sandwiches nearly all the time. Not only do they enjoy a nice meatball sub, but Subway is one of their advertisers, so they pay them a lot of money to ensure that their wishes appear on the show regularly. Online shopping. Even though you may believe that the Pawn Stars ensemble has amassed millions of dollars from the show and the related sponsorships and endorsements, the merch is the primary source of their wealth. Yes, fans are hurrying to purchase as much official Pawn Stars merchandise as possible, and it now accounts for most of the Harrisons' income. In addition to t-shirts, shot glasses, and mugs, you can purchase items like a signed Chumlee bobblehead. Celeb Pals. When a show begins to attract superstar guest appearances, you know it has indeed taken off. Usually it's only used for sitcoms and similar shows, but Pawn Stars has gained so much popularity that it's drawn many A-list patrons. Phil Collins, Joe Elliott, Jeremy McKinnon, Katie Couric, Vic Flick, Meredith Vieira, renowned crooner Bob Dylan, and even beloved comedian Steve Carell have all visited the store as celebrities. Beauty biz. Considering who would be the next great thing in the beauty industry, You might not immediately think of the Harrisons, even though they are accomplished TV personalities and business savvy. However, did you know that Corey Harrison demonstrated his abilities in that field? He is co-owner of a beauty bar, a club and beauty salon in Las Vegas. Since its opening in 2014, it has achieved great success. Sweet sensations. Additionally, Corey Harrison is not the only television star to have ventured into unexpectedly unrelated endeavors, because Chumlee also created a store of his own, and you know what it sells. Candy, of course, is the answer. It was logical for Chumlee to open a sweet shop, as he told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that he loved candy. "I wanted to do something fun with my brother, and candy is fun," he remarked. Well, you can't dispute that. Military man. Many people shared their best recollections of Richard Old Man Harrison after his passing. However, did you know that the majority of his admirers and loved ones aren't even aware of a large portion of his past? For instance, we're willing to wager that you're unaware that Harrison spent more than 2 decades in the Navy. Whatever the initial cause, it worked out well. There are rumors that he was sent to the military as a punishment for stealing a car. Sitting pretty. The Harrison family's innate hustler tendencies and natural aptitude for the complex pawn industry are evident throughout the series. In actuality, though, they've become so successful that they no longer need to do it to make ends meet. They do it purely for enjoyment. Harrison told Las Vegas Now, "I'm at a point in my life where if I don't like it, I don't have to do it." Old Man OG. We all know and adore Richard Old Man Harrison, whose legacy endures long after his death. But did you know that his nickname is earned long before he died? Yes, he was 68 when the show began, but he'd been going by this moniker for years before that. In fact, he was only 38 when he was first called Old Man. Perhaps he was simply one of those elderly souls. Laid to rest. In his hometown of Las Vegas, Richard Old Man Harrison was given a dignified funeral after his tragic death. While many are aware that his cherished family gave him a heartfelt farewell, not everyone is aware that fans also had the chance to say goodbye because the family allowed fans to visit the funeral home for a few hours to pay their respects in person. What's in a name? Undoubtedly, Chumlee is one of the most well-liked characters on Pawn Stars. But have you ever wondered where his odd nickname originated? The answer is that it was inspired by the classic animated television series Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales, which starred a penguin in the title role. The penguin's sidekick was a dim-witted walrus named, you guessed it, Chumlee. Chumlee is by no means a dimwit, but that's the truth of the name's origin. Alternate identity. We know that Richard Harrison is known as Old Man, Austin Russell is Chumlee, and Corey Harrison is Big Hoss. But did you know that they also tried calling Rick Harrison the Spotter and Richard Harrison the Appraiser? These were more work-related nicknames, but they weren't popular with the fans, so they dropped them briefly. And it's not just Chumlee who's gained recognition and affection from fans worldwide, referred to by an affectionate nickname. In plain sight. When you watch Pawn Stars, have you ever wondered why you don't see many people pawning items in the shop? Customers are more likely to conduct proper sales because, when you think about it, many people hawking their belongings for loans are possibly in a somewhat desperate situation, and they don't always want those moments to be aired on TV. Therefore, getting permission to air the more straightforward sales is more accessible. Supply and demand. As we all know, Harrison's initial plan to have the pawn shop featured on a TV show was partially motivated by his wish to increase the store's visibility, and consequently its clientele. However, even he was unable to foresee the extent of the store's eventual popularity and the extent to which it would need to be modified to accommodate the influx of customers. In fact, so many more people started visiting that they had to hire 30 new employees and expand the space by 15,000 square feet. Morrison Mirage. The enormous painting of Doors frontman Jim Morrison is one of the renowned establishment's most memorable and impressive items. However, did you know it was the work of famous speed artist Denny Dent? It was initially on sale for $20,000, but the stars decided it was so crucial to the show that it was not for sale. Many Pawn Stars fans and viewers feel they know the store reasonably well, even if they haven't been able to visit it in person yet. Crank Collect. We can assume that as the show has grown in popularity, more people have contacted the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop. Still, we bet you didn't consider how many people call the store to get through and hear them answer rather than for legitimate reasons. As a result, they get many prank calls, most frequently requesting a 1991 copy of the well-known video game Battletoads. Bachelor Bants. We know that Harrison worked tirelessly for years to have his beloved pawn shop turned into a television program, and that his efforts paid off. But did you know that it was also a complete coincidence that gave the store the last boost of publicity that led to the TV deal? Yes, executives from Left Field Pictures happened to stumble upon the store while they were in town for a bachelor party, and they were then motivated to show it to their History Channel bosses. Sidekicks. Antoine, the massive security guard, Peaches, the perpetually tardy blonde employee, Scott, the part-time flea market enthusiast, middle-aged bearded Latino Audie, and Fatback, the on-site mechanic, make Pawn Stars what we know and love today. Of course, the show has made all its main stars into real celebrities, but occasionally the lesser-known supporting cast members garner a sizable fan base. Chumlee's health issues. When the world went into lockdown in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Chumlee was hospitalized in Las Vegas for severe breathing difficulties and abdominal pain. He joked on Instagram that he might have caught the coronavirus, and later that day, he gave his fans an update stating that he was feeling much better. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon